So, does anyone know about that 2005 MLB video of A Very Minty Christmas? Well, I'm actually a huge fan of the G3 series of My Little Pony. I especially loved watching this movie from Christmas 2005 to 2008. It was heartwarming. Until that one day. The year was 2010. I thought of that movie up to this day, since I gave away my old VHS copy of that last year. Finally, I decided to go buy myself a new or used copy. When I arrived at my video store, Blockbuster Video, I asked the man behind the corner if they had any copies of A Very Minty Christmas left. Just to my luck, he said that they have 2 copies left, one on DVD and VHS. I bought the 2 for $10 and then left. When I got back home, I got out my old DVD/VHS player, opened the DVD copy of the movie and put the disc into the drive. When I got to the DVD menu, I saw something out of place, deleted scenes. I then thought to myself, how can there be bonus material like this? But without anything to lose, I just started reviewing it. The first deleted scene showed a still frame of Minty crying. As the camera started zooming in on the image, her crying got louder and it literally sounded like the voice actress was actually in emotion. This went on for about 3 minutes until Minty pulled herself together and looked directly into the camera with bloodshot teary eyes. The next shot showed her writing a suicide note, as tears streamed down her face. Minty's tears looked real instead of the typical blue/white tears you'd see in most cartoons. Then after about a minute of this, she walked out silently. Then came back with a rope and formed it into the shape of a noose. That's when I became concerned. What the hell? How can there be suicide in a kid's show? Anyway, Minty then took the noose and hung it from her fireplace before bringing it around her neck. She began tearing up again and this time, she started sniffling. Finally, she spoke. It's hopeless. I have to do it to avoid telling anyone about that incident. After this chilling line, she whimpers for a minute or two before finally giving up her suicide attempt. No, wait. I can't. I'll work something out, Minty said, as she took her head out of the noose and stepped down. The scene ended there, as I gave out a sigh of relief. Why would she try to kill herself in the first place? Shortly afterwards, I carried in with the video. The second deleted scene showed Minty and Thistle Whistle get trapped on a cliff, after they lose control of their balloon. You know, that scene, where they get stuck on a cliff, but end up being saved by the other ponies? Well, it was at the ending part, you know, where Minty almost falls to her death, but Pinky luckily saves her. Well, unfortunately, that part doesn't happen at all. Minty just fell and disappeared out of sight. The scene then jump cuts to her landing on soft snow, but abruptly ends up getting impaled and killed by icicles. I began to cry at the sight of one of my favorite characters getting killed. I don't remember much about the other deleted scenes, so I'll skip some detailing. In the final deleted scene, Minty was shown again in the same shape from the first deleted scene, tears streaming down her pale face and staring at the viewer. The background behind Minty was Ponyville ablaze with sounds accompanying were people screaming in agony. It sounded similar to the Siberia sounds of hell, which pretty much creeps me the hell out indeed. Minty then spoke her last lines, before taking her own life, "Forgive me." After this, she pulled out a realistic-looking firearm, put it in her mouth and fired. Blood and brain matter spattered across the screen, as Minty fell to the ground. It jump cuts to Minty's corpse, showing half of her face blown off by the gun blast. It looked very grotesque that I almost threw up. After a short period of time of this frame being printed into the screen, it went to static for the remainder of the scene. Before the video ended, an image of Minty's hanged corpse, empty eye sockets, blood seeping from mouth, skin peeling off and bones sticking out from certain areas, drawn in a realistic sketch style, flashed on screen for a split second. I ejected the disc and burned that damn filth in the fireplace. I've had nightmares from this cursed DVD since. And all I remember from waking up from my last nightmare was Minty staring right at me. Bloodied, noose round neck and knife in hand saying, "Merry Christmas."